Who's ready for some boom, baby, boom? Rise and shine. Another beautiful day by the ocean. It's your boy Marky Saint. This is Island Living Time. I'm out here in the shade of the new balcony of the new place, and I just thought about island living and how chill it is. We got a girl out here raving in the ocean and getting her mind right. We got butterflies coming through the leaves, and of course, you got me chilling on the rocks in the shade, just enjoying this beautiful islands. And had the conversation last night and wanted to continue it about like island living and the choices of people that chase money or they chase their being. And it's going to be a tough conversation because both are mutually exclusive. So as I wake up and look at this beautiful mountains and this beautiful resort, they just put in the palm trees. Everything looks really nice and life is put together. You realize that there's a lot of hard work that goes into earning the money. So we put ourselves through a lot of stress only to be able to come here and relax. The amount of dopamine that we get from being here, I'd like to think was enough to satisfy us for all the times that we've been through the stress. So, when you're late to work or you're in the train headed to your job and all that stress goes through your body, if the amount of dopamine that is returning is of equal value. And that's what this really came down to. You're going to have to make a decision. What's more important to you? And most people are going to be like, well, I want these things so bad that I'm willing to sacrifice and work and give up my time in exchange for these prizes. And the prize is always something that, like, you can purchase something or, something else happened and everything else goes that way. So I'm over here going like, oh, I just got a new model. Decisions had to be made. Yes, things cost money if you are a person that believes in things. If you believe in energy, currency, creating, there's so many possibilities for doing limitless behavior that most people would have stopped themselves a long time ago. The behavior, like to relax in the morning and do your morning stretches in the ocean and these kind of things. It's quite spiritual, to make a decision to say no longer am I going to play in the matrix and make someone else rich or grow their dreams or make something that wasn't into a reality. You can be here. The Bloody, I see you, bro. Thank you for saying hi. You can be here healthy with the clear water and a clear mind and clear soul. That's what I yearn for. Oh, by the way, don't forget to subscribe. I got 20 people here and 2 people unsubscribed from last night. I don't even know why. But, to live on the island, right? To live here where everything is healthy, you know? You're exercising every day. You're getting outside. You're getting your vitamin D. You're getting your mind right. You're talking to people that do. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Because it just happened this morning. I was at 666. You know what I mean? 1,666. I was on 666, and it was 664. And I was like, whose problem? If it's one, who gives a shit? But who did I piss off at two? But island living is a whole nother construction because then you're on the island. Then you live in a community where you see people often, even if you don't want to see them. And people that but they're frenemies and they don't say hi like they used to. And they talk shit about you, and you have to get through all of these things. It might be the same on any island. We had this conversation with my friend, my poor buddy Tony. He argued with Stevie, and Stevie was being a bitch, and her friend had given him death eyes or whatever, and he called her out on it. And the next thing he knows, he's out of a job and off the island. It's not going to keep you around if you don't know how to be chill. And the one guy was like, I'm looking for this dude, this Polish guy. I'm going to fuck him up. I've been up 3 days on fucking ice and methamphetamines, and I'm going to do all these things. And I was just like, wait, what? You know what I mean? But he's like, this is my home. This is my second time here. I only come to Koh Chang. It's the vibe, man. There's nothing like it. Because if you look at certain things for island lifestyle, right? Like I put safety as the top priority because it doesn't matter how beautiful it is, right? If you're afraid somebody's gonna steal shit from your balcony, you know, they got bathtubs in here and shit. You know, if you're afraid of your life or being safe, then it'll never work, right? Like, there's no amount of money that's going to be okay for like a Brazil or a Russia or maybe somewhere in the Middle East. So if it's not, you got the whole world to travel to, top and bottom, you ain't going to it, right? It's too cold. Trying to stay closer to the equator. Got to have something safe. Got to have something beautiful, and you also have to feel something of a vibe. And that's why Thailand gets to kick ass and take names, is because if this was Vietnam, there would be plastic all over the place, you know, planes that don't necessarily work, you know what I mean? And check out this chick get out of the ocean, nice and easy, nice and easy. Beautiful women are coming out of the ocean where I'm from, you know, and that's what it takes. You know, it takes something like that experience of living on an island where even here they have hot tubs and refrigerators and hot water and flushing toilets. You know, been definitely been some places where I had to flush the toilet myself with some water and spill it over with a bucket. You know, that's island living. You don't get all those creature comforts that you're so used to and expecting or maybe even entitled to. No, ma'am, no, sir. You're going to be in a different situation where you're on an island. You can't just snap your fingers and go to a big box store. But then again, there's no big box stores around, or, you know, having a bunch of businesses. And that's all it is. It's just a concrete jungle. Or would you like to be in the jungle near nature, smelling the beautiful salt water? That's what I do. You know, I want to be healthy. You know what I mean? Nice and slow. She got out of the water nice and slow, just like that. Yeah, and smell the fresh salt air and feel my heart rate and not be in a rush and not be full of cortisol or anything else that's going to make me get older or more wrinkles or less of a life. And then it's like, okay, so most of us work all our lives to have only a small part of our time to be available for enjoyment. Or Louise in here, she was like, I've been working since I was 15. You know what I mean? Have you had anyone chatted in your on other streams? Of course, bro. Everybody comes in and says what's up. I've been doing this for 10, 15 years since Telescope, Periscope, and Periscope was awesome because then, you know, um, you just chatted like this. Anybody could come in and then they could make a comment to someone else's comment. So it was a little bit more advanced, and it was like 10 years ago. So I checked your most popular live and you have 30,000 people watching. What happened? No, my most popular live had 600,000 people watching, and it was unfortunate, but it was because of the police harassing me in my own shop. So going back to America, I don't feel safe. I was telling Luis all last night, I've been federally arrested off of an airplane because of a registration ticket. I couldn't imagine somebody walking up right now and asking me for my papers or is my truck registered or any of that kind of crazy ass shit that makes me feel unsafe in America. That I can be arrested and taken my freedom, to snap of a fucking finger at any time, and then I don't have this comfort, just me being myself. I'm off by myself. I'm not harming nobody else, right? It's just a little platform. No one else is here. I just got up in the morning. I just want to smoke my little joint, chill the fuck out, not bother nobody. And this is my island lifestyle. My biggest decision, especially this morning, is going like, what do I eat? That's the biggest decision of the day. Tough life. While we're sitting here relaxing and people are doing fire shows or kayaking or exercising. It's a beautiful experience to be around. So I wanted more people to have it. You know, I wanted more people to be able to feel the other side of working your ass off and just being a fucking monetary slave or somebody that can't seem to break free from their mentality because they got to be put back into the machine, put back underneath those lights, put back in situations that aren't right. And that's why we're having this conversation. It's like, you got to have money to be here. I don't spend that much money. You know what I mean? I've been broke for like the last week, but I still decide to keep showing up, keep deciding to come to that beach. The beach is free, nature is free, and happiness is free. If you want to fucking reach and attain it, this is going to be difficult. If you are trying to buy it, then you've already fucked yourself. Then you got to go back into the matrix, hours for dollars on your back. You can't be doing anything like that. And then guess what? It's going to be just like that. So that's the first kind of counter strike to the situation. But if you really want to strike it good and strike it in life, you're gonna find that some places that have equilibrium, have a sound system that works for you, because you're gonna still want to do work. You're gonna execute your dreams, elaborate your ideas, be as creative as possible. But it's not a day of work if you love what you do. And if you have a passion for it, and I got people that cut hair in the bungalow, had a line all the way out the door. What the other girl do? I make t-shirts. Somebody else was doing tattoos. Like, you can travel the world on your talent, and it doesn't take that much money. But a lot of people, they got to be like, okay, it's all about money. It's all about buying the experience instead of actually experiencing it. And I think that makes it a big difference. So I'm one of those that wants to enjoy life, right? That's what island life is all about, is enjoyment. And then you got to work your ass off to get more enjoyment. And I'm wondering if there's enough for it. Is there enough dopamine on the other side? What's up, Malia? What's up? Is there enough dopamine in these kind of moments where it's all peaceful and amazing? Or does it run out? And now you're just, when you're stressed out and you're on the bus or you're on the tube or something, right? You're going to sit your ass down or what? When you're on the tube or something, is it not enough? No? You carry on. I am carrying on. Yeah. Yeah. Stay calm, carry on. But, this is this situation. We've been talking about it the whole time, about capsulizing moments, and to offset all the stressful moments, the depressed moments, the moments that don't work for us, and to capsulate these moments where it lowers your heart rate. You smell the moment, and you get a quick sniff of it, and you go, okay, yeah, I'm still, that there's still a beautiful place in the world, that there's still something nice, and I'm not in a fucking tube, and I'm not in a tunnel, and I'm not doing things that I don't want to do, that there's this free lifestyle. It's enough to be addictive. It's enough for people to say, like my buddy, he's like, I'm going to live here. I'm going to make a bungalow, and I need to talk to you about it. And I said, I'm the guy to talk to you. So that's exactly what I want to do. I want to make a bungalow. But he's been up 3 days straight, and he wasn't exactly ready to take notes. So it wasn't exactly like I was going to give him the gold when it was hard for him to even stay sober. So, and a lot of us, we make lip service of things that we want, but being here right now, being myself, regardless of what money I have, regardless of what pressures are out there in the world, Cambodia and ceasefire. So everybody's blowing up my phone from Norway. People that have been here, is it safe? Is it safe? One of my buddies is here. He's out there in Comac somewhere. Is it safe? Is it safe? And it's just like, now you're here. Now you're safe. And that's priceless. And for a lot of people, they just don't want to take any chances. That's too scary for them. They're too complacent. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. And that's what people do. They want to just be comfortable. Well, I'm super comfortable right now, but learning to be comfortable, learning to let go of the schedule, learning to not run to the next obstacle, learning how to just be calm is really hard. It takes almost like 10 days, 12 days to let go of the Western philosophies and our Western mentalities of chasing something. And if we accomplish something, then we'll be happy. And then we got a schedule. And where else are we going to go? Bro, Cambodia's attacking my country, Thailand. They just signed another ceasefire, bro. So it's one of those where you got to know peace is prosperity, that's where the gold grows. So you're not going to get as many tourists if you have war. You're not going to have as much opportunity. It breaks up the kids' education. It scares people, and that's where dreams go to die. So it's one of those things where it's as beautiful as it wants to be. But if it's storming inside, if it's still at war with itself, if it's got the wrong vibe, it'll never work. I don't care. There's plenty of islands all over the world. There's plenty of islands, but being right on your own island, the island lifestyle, staying away from the frenemies, staying away from the drama, you know, staying away from the binge drinking and the bad, poor habits, then you know what I'm talking about, island lifestyle. Then you know that it's going to be beautiful to be alive and away from situations that are killing us inside. You know, this chasing that money. You know, these people work really hard to keep the grounds clean and green and ready to go. I myself um, know what it's like. It's why I created Travel by Saints, because these people will never get to travel to all these places that I've been, all these countries that these people get to go, and they got to go change the bed and water the trees and pick up all our trash. You know, it's not fair. You know, it's not fair to be halfway alive and never get to go anywhere. Can you imagine every day Spain, and then you go, I've never been there. You know, like the furthest my friend has ever gone is Cambodia to Thailand. He comes over here. The guy last night, he's like, I'm from Myanmar, and I'm illegal, so I had to spend a year and a half down in Bangkok before I could get this job on the island. Now I'm really happy. I get a good place to stay, good food, and a good job, and on a great island. And he's like, this is my mentality, you know. So coming from a place where it has no money, but the people are still smiling. You're nowhere near Myanmar, you know. Cambodia is the fifth world of the world. It's the armpit of the world. I think Cambodia is the worst place on this planet, but it's right next door. And if you were come from the worst place on the planet to one of the best places on the planet, you too would say, I like the island lifestyle. Does it come at a cost? I think so. You know, the flights, you know, but so does food cost over the world. I'm waiting for the moment for all of us just to be able to enjoy, let go of chasing things that aren't really healthy for us, the cortisol levels, the schedules, the bullshit, and be able to touch nature, be close to water, eat fresh fruits, and be the type of person that wants to smile about their life. This is where I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to get people to get that island lifestyle, that feeling of I have abundance, I have nature, I have happiness, instead of I'm lacking, I have to chase something, I have to go purchase that thing, and I'm running out. So both things are true. I think I saw that on your boy, what's his name that does the drawings, the spray paint drawings, and they're just basically a stencil. I forget his name. Maybe somebody on here can help me. But what the fuck's his name? Jack Black? Nope. I forget. Anyway, he was famous for a minute there when he was spray painting everything. But in that, he had two people. One was a homeless guy and one was a rich dude with a briefcase. And both were sitting there go, I wish I had more money. And the irony of it was that, you know, that one was really without and one had a lot and still felt like he was without. So it's never enough. You know, it's never enough numbers in the bank. It's never enough happiness. It's never enough focus. And that, unfortunately, is our own undoing. So having the focus and the attitude of somebody that wants to get something done, right? Somebody that actually wants to make something happen. Look at that beautiful bird, land. Oh my God, the stork. Then you can feel the happiness. It's the random storks. It's the random butterflies. It's the sound of the waves, you know? This is a healthy experience. This is what I want people to experience. That's what I was making the bungalows for, was like, this is how I got rid of my cocaine habit. I got farther enough away from America. I was supposed to be so happy, but I'm doing lines and my nose is dripping on my paperwork in front of my boss. I was supposed to be so happy, but my stomach was all the way out to here, and I had about 40 pounds around my heart and my waist. Eating sugary things in the morning instead of fresh fruits, and doing things that were detrimental to my health. And now I've been doing this for the last 15, 16 years. It's not worth it. No amount of money's worth my life. I fell off the motorbike, you know. I don't know if you can see it, but I fell off that motorbike, and I quickly realized, like, I've been chasing things that were more important. How's my hair look? Where's my jewelry, or what I was wearing? And all that went right out the window, and all I wanted was more time to enjoy the planet and enjoy my body and enjoy my mind versus my mind torturing me and thinking about things that I'm missing or being lonely or overeating, right? That shit drove me crazy. It made me not a happy human being. And why even be on the planet if you can't be happy? So, as a former depression person, I'm a depression survivor. As a person that says, hey, I want to get it out. Oh, the bird's coming out over the ocean. I want to get out of my mind. I want it to work for me instead of against me, you know? Those are the things that really start to drive me. Oh, shit, he's right there by the water. He's going to get up on the rocks and poach fishes. Look at that. Oh, my God, that's crazy. That's amazing. That's beautiful. So as I breathe this fresh air and I look at this fresh view, I'm trying to tell you that part of letting go, right, is not only just buying a ticket and going to an island, but there's some people that buy the ticket, go to the island, and still have troubles in their mind. They're still having fights. They're still getting kicked off the island. That shit just don't work for here. We all are keeping such a good vibe that if you're a fighter or you're angry or you're an asshole, you don't belong here. You know, that won't belong here. They'll pack up your stuff in the night and leave you right there on the pier, like, time for you to go. And that's what it is. It's time for us to go someplace that makes us happy and do this with your loved ones while you're young, while you're beautiful, while you're half naked. And good morning. People are walking around all tan, new clothes, and swimming and fit. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that the experiment? So this is the lifestyle that I wanted. This is the island lifestyle, to just go into the ocean in the morning and rinse off with your hot-bodied girl and make love to her in the morning and have as much sex as possible and eat really good foods and appreciate them and watch the fire shows and listen to the thing with the ding 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 ding, the little Chinese little, I don't know what you call that when you're hitting it and it makes the ding 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 ding. That was happening last night, so you know, it's absolutely fantastic. Life is a blessing. I'm not sure what that swirling is over here. We're trying to move there. I don't know what that is. But that's what life is about when you're on the island. You know, you get close to nature. You remember that you're part of nature. You're not just chasing a number so that way you can go back to a box and then now you're stuck in that box. No, you get out of the box. You get outside. You get the sun on your skin and you feel fucking great. That's the difference. So I wanted people to reach inside of their soul and say, I'm worth more. You know, I'm worth more than just sitting at the same pub. I'm worth more than just paying the same bills. I might have to sacrifice, but I'm sacrificing my time and health now. If I want to have time and health later, I better do something, you know, something that's creative, something that's expansive, something that makes me get up inside and glow from within. That is the question. That's going to be the tough part. So let me begin the day. Let's let these beautiful people enjoy the view, you know, like I said. And as always, it's a morning motivation. Look at this beautiful view. They got the boat out there, you know. We're going to do these things too. It's great to be alive on an island. And look at these, how hard these ladies work in the sun, dark skin. Look, butterflies. I told you, butterflies. It's beautiful. Good morning. So you're going to have to find it in you, you know, like we all have. What's up, Sebastian? You got into it. What's up, bro? And that's what we're going to do. Brand new place. Look, you just planted the grass, the trees, the dirt is still fucking dry. The grass, new bungalows, new paint on them, you know, like this is opulence on another level. So all the little trees in between and beautiful oceans, and everybody has their own hot tub. How amazing is that? So excuse me. Thank you, babes. Thank you guys. Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing. Can I just show them real quick? Look how amazing this is. Amazing. Wow. Good view. Yeah, sweet yacht. Look at them. They're doing great. So beautiful views, beautiful opportunities, and it's a beautiful life. I know that there's a lot of people that don't get to see it. Maybe they got to make a phone call on y'all. Look at this old phone call. Look, it's all brand new. I'm telling you, they just stacked the rocks and the concrete, and they're still painting. And everything's new around here. So it's a hell of a view. It's a hell of a lifestyle choice, you know. to just be able to kind of do these things. I think this is funny. I kind of want to take a picture of it later and do all these things, but that's life. It's always under construction. Have you ever lost like 1,000 subs? No, never. That would never happen. Yeah, all my people, I've all met them in real life, and why would they? They're really my friends, and they know I go around the world and give good content. So we're outside. They're upstairs in sandals. You think you work hard? Shit. All the way out here to Sunset Bar before it gets expanded. That's where we were. So all around the rocks and people bathing and soaking up the waves and feeling good. So it's a pretty cool day to watch everybody. Are you good? Mm-hmm. You happy? And you got the little bird on the trying to peck everybody down. Little whirlpools out of nowhere. These two beautiful islands, and then there's Lonely Beach, the perfect little beach between two volcanic spots, and it's fucking perfect. So you're gonna have to put in the work, or you're gonna have to let it go, one or the other. Yeah. Look at this. There's real life in island life. It's not easy being up in the banisters with. Yeah, morning coffee.
Morning
coffee. Coffee on shirts. So yeah, when you're here, you're gonna see people in t-shirts and shorts all doing the electricity and painting and everything's getting put together. There's a lot of hard work to make things easy. So I don't promise an easy life. It's not going to be easy to get out here, change your lifestyle, change your patterns, and change your monetary situation. Why it's cut now, but you see the polished version of everything, the beautiful view, the new. But it is worth it. So if you got anything out of it, you already know. Like, share, and subscribe below. And as always, peace and love. And Chigaton. That means goodbye, but not forever in Phoenix. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. The other side of your feet. Peace. So that's your morning motivation. I'm obviously on the other side. Hello. Can't hear you. Of your excuses. Sorry. Can't hear you. Too many excuses. Excuse me.